Parshas Miketz Shvi, the false accusation against Binyamin. So Binyamin's sitting in front of Yoseph. It says he took him to a side and he was seating all his brothers. Now each one of the brothers, they sat in front of him, the older one and the younger one, and he took his gavia, he would hit this goblet, and he would say, I'm Menachesh, I see in the, my divining that you're the oldest, you're second, you're third, and he figured out exactly which brother went where. Then he sees Binyamin and he says, well, you don't have a mother and I don't have a mother, so you sit next to me. And then he introduces himself to Binyamin. So Binyamin tells him that, I have 10 children. He names him each one of his children, and he tells him that each one of my children was named, of my 10 children, for my brother, for my long lost brother. And Yoseph goes into a room by himself and he cries inside, and then he comes out and he restrains himself, and he says, Simu lechem. And they put the bread and they continue to have this feast. When they finished, he gives them all gifts. And then in the morning, they all leave. And Yosef tells his man, listen, take my gavia and plant it in the youngest one, in Binyamin's sack. So the guy takes it, puts it by Binyamin, and they all leave happy. Everything's exciting. As they leave, the guy chases them out of the city, and he finds them, and he says, why'd you steal the gavia? Now, they said, what do you mean? We didn't steal it. He said, let's check. So they start checking. He says, he looks, he starts with the oldest one, and he finishes with the youngest one, and the reason is so as not to arouse their suspicion that he knew exactly where it was. He's going to find in the end by him. They say to him, listen, whoever has it will die, and the rest of us will become slaves. And he says, no, what's going to happen is, whoever has it will be a slave, and the rest of you go home. And alas, it is found in Binyamin's bag, as the gavia. So now, Yehuda and his brothers, specifically Yehuda, because he's the one who took responsibility for Binyamin, they come in front of Yosef. And Yehuda says, what are we supposed to say? How can we find righteousness in our eyes? He says, you know what? You are right. So we are all going to become slaves to you. And at this point, Khalil says, no, you're not going to be. The guy who found it is going to become the slave. And everyone else goes home. And the parsha ends on this incredible note, whereby now is going to be the moment of teshuvah. Because until now, Yosef was working the brothers to the point they can do teshuvah for what they had done for the sale. And now they're going to get to this point where they can have the same opportunity to do with Binyamin, get rid of him. And by not doing it, they're going to do a real teshuvah.